Yo, it's your boy Kenji, man, and look here. This is the season review for Boba Fett. Uh, Boba Fett, the book of Boba Fett. Um, let's get into it, people. But before I get into the review, I want to just talk about everything that's been going on, all the conversations that's been surrounded around this show. It has very mixed reviews from critics and from people who have reviewed it. And a lot of people have given up on Disney. I did a review on the first episode, and I kind of didn't. I had mixed feelings about it, people. Even though it's Star Wars and I like it, it's Disney. Disney just. I feel like even the main star of the show, who plays Boba Fett, Tamura Morrison, pointed something out that I saw immediately when I watched the first episode. I was like, why is Boba Fett talking so much? Why is he being so? Why is he showing so much expression? And why come every time I see a new episode, right? Episode 1 through 5, because that's what we're really talking about. The rest 6 and 7 is basically Mandalorian coming back, right? And we're gonna get to that. But every episode I was looking at him, and I noticed that he kept having his mask off, his helmet. I was like, bro, put your helmet on. Did Disney tell you to take your helmet off? Why do you keep? And I noticed that. I was like, "Why? That's weird." And so if you are a Boba Fett fan who grew up watching Star Wars and watching, episode 6, 7, is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? My bad. I was talking about that other trilogy, the sequel trilogy. But if you grew up watching the original Star Wars trilogy and you like this character and you know how this character acts, you're looking at him, you're looking at his behaviors, and you're like, this doesn't seem like the original Boba Fett. And even if you say, well, he has to talk, he's the leader of a gang now. He has taken over Jabba the Hutt's territory, right? And that makes me think again. I'm like, wait a minute. Boba Fett is a bounty hunter. We all know that. A bounty hunter for hire. What happened that made him all of a sudden want to just take over Jabba the Hutt's territory and lead a gang, right? What made him do that? Was it him hanging around the Tuscan people that made him do that? Did it make him more friendly? Because this is a friendly Boba Fett, bro. Because once you start noticing certain stuff, you're realizing Disney then sprinkled sugar all over Boba Fett. They made him sweet. Real talk. They made him sweet. It's not Boba Fett no more. And Disney's agendas, woke agendas, have actually gotten into this. And I'll explain that by saying each episode of those first 5 episodes, right? You see him basically, he's trying to take over Jabba Hutt's territory, let everybody know in Mo Espa that he's the one that's running it now. But a lot of people don't respect him, and I could tell. Everybody in his gang, you start to realize something. You be like, okay, you got the Chinese girl, and nothing wrong with these people, just because they have multiple races. But when Disney does it, it's just a sign. It's like, oh, are you about to go there, Disney? Ain't nothing wrong with it. But I'm saying when Disney does it, it's a sign that lets you know then they probably not going to do this character any justice. Now, you have, what's her name? Fennec Shan, elite mercenary. She was created in The Mandalorian. I'm about to show you something. She's Chinese. Then you got another person, Drash, who's actually Sophie Thatcher, and she plays Natalie, the younger Natalie, in Yellow Jackets. I love that show. So she's playing, she's getting roles, people. Now you got the white girl, and then there's a black guy too. He's like he's a member too. And then there's a Wookiee, and then there's a robot. It's like, oh, Boba is working with everybody now. He's like, everybody, every race, every creed. He's working with them, and I'm thinking like, okay, you let me know. Okay, Boba Fett's not racist, and he's willing to allow anybody of any creed, any race in his group. And all that does, to me, all that does, right? I'm going to show you why this whole woke agenda messed up his character, is because all it does is make him seem like a good guy, right? You keep painting this picture of a good guy. And some people say, well, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm thinking like, yes, there is. Boba Fett is evil. I don't know. That's why you like him. He's the bad guy. That's why most people like bad guys. You ever notice that in a lot of movies? The bad guys seem to have a large fan base. And this is why people like Boba Fett's character. He's a badass, silent type, does cool shit. This guy is like, he's everything about him is opposite now. He used to work solo. Boba Fett used to work solo. Now he's working with a whole team of everybody. You could be a woman, you could be Chinese, you could be white, you could be black. And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with putting all that in there. But what it does is let me know Disney wants to make Boba seem, he wants to put Boba in a good light. And I'm thinking like, why not just make a dark Boba? Make him very dark. And they was like, motherfucker, we Disney. And I was like, oh, right, you Disney. So like I said, let me say it again. Nothing wrong with putting multiple races of characters in it. But when you do that, especially with a bad guy, all it does to me is show that you're trying to rewrite his character. Because this is exactly what, this is basically, what's her name? Rey. She had a Wookiee friend. She had a black friend. She had some alien friends. She had a robot. It's like, bro, it's the same. It's the same. It's the same theme. This is what I'm saying. When you usually see a multitude of different characters of different races and different creeds hanging out with the protagonist, is because it's the protagonist and the person's a good guy. But when you put this with why you think in the original Darth Vader, and you saw all those people, why you think they were all white and all like in uniform and everything? They were all one race, one creed. There was no aliens. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to let you know these people are evil. These people are evil. They'll fucking kill you. You can't just be any race. We are evil. So that's my point on that. So basically, Boba Fett is a good guy now who's trying to run a crime syndicate with a bunch of other group. Are they evil? I don't know. And so in the story, these episodes, you see him going against Jabba the Hutt's cousins. They came back to get the territory, and you would think, okay, yeah, those people deserve that territory. Boba, not you. You just worked for this dude for a couple of jobs. You were supposed to kill the old gang. Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, his sister, you know what I'm saying, Cyborg, R2D2, C-P3PO. You were supposed to kill those guys. You failed, and you got ate by an alien. But now you gonna come back. I'm out. I deserve everything that Jabba the Hutt has. No. If anybody, it's his cousins. And I bet it's just to show you that I don't understand why he's doing this. And then he gets into a battle with these new people called the Pike. And they're trying to take over Tatooine and his territory. and sell this spice. I guess it's a drug, right? And they going to war with them, going back and forth. He's getting all these people on his side, and the whole first 5 episodes, this is where people are critiquing this. They're saying the same thing that I'm saying. Boba Fett has gotten soft. He's gone soft. And I'm thinking, like, why is he on this planet? Why would he have to deal with this? Dude, just go do what you... Just imagine if Boba Fett would have just went and did what he usually do. I'm a bounty hunter. Somebody give me a bounty, I'm going to go get the money. We're going to go make it happen. But like I said, Boba is now a good guy. And some people will never understand that. They just want to see Disney make something out of these characters out of nostalgia, and not understand that, yo, Boba is not a good guy, y'all. He's bad. And not one time in those first 5 episodes did I see him do anything where I was like, oh, that's the Boba Fett that I know. Even though Boba died real quick, they didn't know he was going to be this popular. So I was like, I'm just not feeling it. It's not something I'm interested in. Disney does not know how to make a bad guy. And when they made this and announced it and said, okay, we're about to make a bad guy, the main protagonist, I should have known that what they were going to do is make him fall under a good light and try to make it seem like he never did anything evil, like he wasn't working for Darth Vader, like he wasn't working for Jabba the Hutt and doing fucked up shit, like he wasn't trying to kill Luke and all the rest of the gang. It's like, bro, yes he was. He tried to do all that. Oh, the Tuskens made him good? They tried to kill him? I don't get it. And then he comes back trying to take over the crime syndicate with a whole bunch of other people who seem to be good guys. Everybody that he works with are good guys. None of them are willing to do what it takes to win. None of them are bad guys. They're good guys. So this show loses its flair. But then in the 6th episode, this is when you start to see a lot of the people who like this show actually get what they really wanted. They defending it. They're like, oh, Boba Fett is a good show. And then they can't really tell you what's good about it. Except that, the regular stuff that Disney does. Also good. It's some good cinematography. But I'm talking about the story, the characters. What about them? What's good about them? Because it's not interesting to me. And once I seen the internet really react to that 6th episode, where you have Luke and you have the Baby Yoda training, the Mandalorian shows back up. This is when you realize, okay, they knew, they knew that Boba Fett wasn't going to be able to basically hold up his own show because of what they have done to his character. And you see so many people react to that scene of Luke and Baby Yoda, and the nostalgia shows up where you remember Yoda training Luke. It was the opposite, right? And this is the theory that a lot of the Star Wars fans who know that the last sequel trilogy, right? The sequel trilogy with Rey and them, they don't like it. They thought that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau were going to they were going to do a retcon of the sequel trilogy. And how they were going to do this was, if they made Baby Yoda the first student of Luke, that would have retconned the whole sequel trilogy. You know why? Because Luke's in that sequel trilogy, what's his name? Ben Solo. Wasn't it Ben? Yeah, Ben Solo, his Han Solo's son, was the first student of Luke. So if they would have done that, if they would have made Baby Yoda the first, then that means there would have been a sign that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau were gonna retcon the whole thing and throw away the whole Raylo trilogy, right? And all that. Just get rid of it. But they didn't. Once the 7th episode came out and you seen that, because Luke gave Baby Yoda a choice to be a Jedi or be a Mandalorian. The baby chose the Mandalorian, right? So those dreams that y'all had, thinking that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau were on your side. No, they are right next to Kathleen Kennedy, and this whole Boba Fett Mandalorian, everything that's happening with these TV shows is only going to lead down one road. It's going to lead right back to Star Wars with Rey. It's going to lead back to the sequel trilogy. And if you don't know what I mean by sequel trilogy, I'm talking about episodes 7, 8, and 9. The worst episodes of all time. Just ruined by J.J. Abrams and what's his other guy? J.J. Abrams did sort of good, but the other guy who made The Last Jedi, that was horrible. He ruined it. He ruined everything J.J. Abrams set up, and that's because you guys were not working together. Kathleen Kennedy wasn't directing you guys. She wasn't being the person that's supposed to be producing this stuff. So, yeah, man. Boba Fett, the only reason why people were talking about Boba Fett was because the Mandalorian showed up and stole his funk. Because the Mandalorian is actually a better character now than Boba Fett. Boba Fett supposed to be a mean, green fighting machine, people. Just imagine, I can write a better show for Boba Fett straight off the bat. Just imagine him coming back, being a bounty hunter, getting some jobs, and just start killing people. See how simple that is? With blood coming out of their body. And he fighting to the death. And he's solo. He's not riding with a gang. And people don't understand this. Bad guys do not work with a whole bunch of other people unless those are foot soldiers, right? And that's one thing I noticed about Boba Fett. Did you notice that a lot of his gang, he didn't have no foot soldiers? I was thinking, how you gonna take over the city and you ain't got no foot soldiers? It's like 8 to 12 max people talking about they gonna take over a city called Mos Espa, fighting a whole bunch of other gangs. You niggas ain't got enough firepower, bruh. It just didn't make no sense, people. But yeah, man, Boba Fett's character has been ruined by Disney's, attempt to make him a good guy. I don't understand that, man. And the Mandalorian, is he a good guy? Apparently he's a good guy now. The Mandalorians are supposed to be bounty hunters. They're supposed to come in and kill people for money, right? They're supposed to go, I'm coming in, I'm killing you for money. When the last time you seen one of these guys actually kill somebody for money? They're supposed to be bounty hunters. Name the last person that the Mandalorian and our Boba Fett actually killed and got their money and picked it up. Unless it was the bad guy that they killed. It ain't never no just random guy. I'm just saying, bro. You make a show about bounty hunters and then you make them both good guys. It lets me know that Disney is not willing to take the extra mile. Even when Cad Bane showed up and you see that evil look in his face, you was like, wow, that dude's a killer. And he killed that sheriff, the dude from season 1, he killed him. Bow, and killed his deputy. I was like, wow, that's a evil guy right there. And you seen people start to get so hyped. You seen the internet. Everybody was talking about Cad Bane. Bane. Wait. Ain't that how you say his name? Cad Bane. I think that's how you say his name. Yeah, that's how you say his name. Cad Bane. You like, oh, everybody seen it. They was so crunk. It was like, oh, this is awesome. And then in the 7th episode, Cad Bane told Boba Fett to his face. He was like, verbatim, you know, he said, "You're getting weak. I mean, you're growing soft." And I was like, Disney. It's like they know what they're doing. They wrote that in there and said, "Oh, you're going soft. You're going soft, Boba." I'm thinking like, Disney. How, Disney? You know what you're doing. You knew people were not going to like this dude. That's why you brought the Mandalorian back. That's why you brought Luke back, and you brought Yoda back, Grogu, because you know this nostalgia stuff works on people. I'm telling you, people, this nostalgia is getting you into this stuff just so you can keep falling into it. That's why they're bringing back with the Obi-Wan Kenobi. They're gonna do the same thing. Obi-Wan Kenobi, nostalgia. They can't create an original character. That's why the Star Wars the sequel trilogy with Rey sucked. All those original characters, they couldn't. It's like nobody really wanted to watch that. Nobody really want to support this. But you see these characters that come from the past, and they're using them as nostalgia to keep you locked in, like keep watching us. But all they do is ruin the character. They just ruin the characters, people. Cad Bane dies in episode 7. You like, and I bet everybody's heart was broken because they was like, oh, finally a bad guy that's willing to kill somebody. But nope, he gets killed. And it was like the worst kill. It was the worst death I ever seen. It was so disrespectful. They killed Cad Bane. Boba, spoilers, stabs him in the chest. No blood, no splatter, no nothing. Not even a cough out his mouth where blood come out. It's just like he dead. That's it. He stabbed him one time, he dead. And I'm thinking like, wow, they just killed Cad Bane like that. Showed him in the last episode for a few minutes, and then he comes back and then you kill him. It's like, y'all don't know what y'all doing, man. I thought Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni knew what they were doing. But they don't know what they're doing, people. They're with this. They're with Kathleen Kennedy. And as long, I'm going to tell you this, y'all. As long as Star Wars owns Disney, you're going to watch them ruin it. They're going to ruin characters. I guarantee you they're going to. And they ruin the villains the most. You know, I don't know about the good guys. Like, the good guys like Obi-Wan Kenobi, they could probably make something happen with that. But whenever they get their hands on these bad guys, these supposed villains or bounty hunters, they're not going to do them any justice. They turn them soft every time. Like when the Mandalorian reunited with Grogu, I didn't feel nothing because I was like, dude, you supposed to be a killer, bro, and you you fell in love with this baby alien. It's like I couldn't feel it, bro. I was just like, man, go get a life, bro. Go get a life, bro. I felt like in all my in all honesty, I felt like Grogu should have stayed with Luke, but that would have retconned everything. Would have retconned the whole Ben Solo thing. So That's all I got to say, people. This was a failure. You guys who disagree, you can disagree. Come in the comment section, tell me your thoughts. But at the end of the day, I don't know how you can defend Disney over and over again like this. Like, Disney. I just can't see how y'all keep defending Disney. Disney is just soft. Disney needs to make a section. They need to finally just do it. Just like, look, we need to have a section where we actually do stuff where it gets a little violent. It gets a little bloody. But that's the type of company Disney is. So it's not their fault. It's Kathleen Kennedy's fault. It really is her fault, bro. I'm telling you, man. Something gotta shake. But that's all I got to say, man. It's your boy Kenji. Subscribe, comment, like, share. Do all the thug dizzle. Let the force be with you, man. Suck it. Let the force be with you, bro. Like, think about, I'll just give you the Force Unleashed. Did you see that? Remember that video game? Cutting people's bodies up. It wasn't that bloody, but it was like, it was something. It was something different. This ain't what the people want. They wanted something bloody. Deadpool. Just look at Deadpool. See how amazing that is. I'm just saying, just think about it. Even if you like this show, I can't tell you what not to like. Just think about a version of Boba Fett that could have been bloody, could have been dark, could have went deeper into his psychology, and into his psyche. Maybe he has still issues with his father dying and his father's head falling in his lap, in his hands. I mean, maybe it didn't touch none of that. It didn't go deep into the character at all. It's just, I'm Boba Fett. I'm going to take over Jabba the Hutt territory, and now I get a gang of people with me, and we're going to take over, and we're going to make it a better place. We're going to get the spice out of here. It's like, nigga, you a good guy now. I'm out of here.